Commissioner and Secretary in charge of the District Council Affairs Department, Cyril Diengdaw, informed the press today that preparations for the District Council elections are on track. He informed that polling party dispatch, election materials and counting centres are ready. Counting in East Khasi Hills will be held at ISBT Shillong, except for Saura and Peninsula, where it will be conducted locally. For elections to KHADC, there are 1,669 polling stations with 88 vulnerable, 16 critical and 25 sensitive. For JHADC, there are 477 polling stations with 95 vulnerable polling centres. He also informed that security forces have been deployed accordingly with increased presence in sensitive areas.
So preparations are all on track. We had multiple reviews with deputy commissioners. In fact, yesterday our chief secretary also visited ISBT to review the preparations in East Khasi Hills district, because we know East Khasi Hills is one of the larger districts when it comes to KHADC polls. So the meeting was satisfactory. The arrangements are all in place for dispatch of polling parties, dispatch of materials, and also receiving of materials, and the counting centre, which has been notified as ISBT for the East Khasi Hills district, excluding Saura civil subdivision, which has 2 constituencies, and Peninsula civil subdivision, which has 2 constituencies. So for Peninsula and Saura, the commissioning and the dispatch of polling parties will be from Peninsula and Saura respectively, and the counting also will happen at Peninsula and Saura. For the remaining constituencies under the KHADC in East Khasi Hills district, it will happen in ISBT Shillong, which is in Meghalaya, as you are aware. Yes, so let me just go maybe district wise, right? Let me start with the sensitive and the normal polling stations. So we have Saura civil subdivision, which has 95 polling stations, of which 3 are sensitive. Mairang district, which is East and West Khasi Hills, which has 141 polling stations. The sensitive are 10. Peninsula 103, none sensitive. Ribhoi 331. Critical are 14, vulnerable are 16. East Khasi Hills has 733, vulnerable 31, critical 1. Nongstoin has 146, critical 1, vulnerable 28. Maukerwat has 120, of which 25 are sensitive. So a total in Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, 1,669 polling stations, of which 88 have been classified as vulnerable, 16 as critical and 25 as sensitive. In the Jayanti Hills Autonomous District Council, we have West Jayanti Hills District, excluding Amlarem Civil Subdivision, which has 241 polling stations, of which 47 are vulnerable. East Jayanti Hills 168, of which 40 are vulnerable, and Amlarem Civil Subdivision 68, of which 8 are vulnerable. So total in JHADC is 477, of which total of 95 have been classified as vulnerable. And adequate arrangements have been made. These are done by the district administration in coordination with the SP of the concerned district. So adequate force has been kept for all these critical and vulnerable polling stations. And all the DCs and SPs are constantly working together to ensure that these are taken care of, and all necessary arrangements have been made. The Commissioner with the SP, based on various parameters, right, based on other things of sensitivity and looking at past data also. So this is based on local inputs, and this is to ensure that there is more force in those vulnerable areas, so that there is more preparation from that perspective.
How many are there in the interstate border sensitive and local sensitive?
So the breakup in the border I don't have, because this is district wise. So some might be on in the bordering areas. That detail I think we need to get from the DC concerned.
How many companies of police are deputed for this thing, sir?
So it is different in different districts, but for sensitive polling stations there are more police personnel deployed compared to the normal polling station.